In the eyes of the blessedness, there are no favorite. In the eyes of the Creator, God, there are no favorite. We are all equal. So, regardless of my faith, my belief, my religion, whatever it is that I do, we are all equal in the eyes of God. Right? And that's what explains why you see a Chinese man is very successful. You see someone in India is successful. Someone from Africa is successful. All right? And now is but the problem is that many people try to monopolize God. You know what it is? What I mean, right? I said, yeah, it's God is only for me. And so except you follow the principles and the instructions I get from him, you will not be. But where I have a problem now is if that exclusivity is only relative to probably just one person, then it means every other person must. So what is the message? So, but what is the primary message that I want to tell you tonight? Is that whatever it is that you believe, you have to back it by the right thing. And here's the thing. All way of doing things, all knowledge cannot create new results. Why did I tell you and I gave you the story about I found myself almost going back to do the same thing I was doing last year? Because it's natural. There's a law. One of the laws in science is, Einstein was law of cause and effect, right? We know it's one of the iron laws of human destiny. The law says that for every effect, there are causes. And here's what I figured out. Everything you see on earth is an effect. Everything. This building is an effect. This chair is an effect. True? This is an effect. So, what are the causes? Thought are causative. Result are effect. Now I know that. So if I look into my life and I look everywhere, if I have to change the things, the effect in my life, I have to go back to check the governing beliefs, the thoughts in my life that create the effects that are in my life. If I have bad effects in my life, I have to go and create good causes. Then I will have good effects. Right? What you see around you is just a result. So in my moment of truth, I was honest. I said, Laddie, you see, if you keep doing the same thing, and by the natural law of science that we know that for every effect there is a cause, and Einstein put it very well. Yesterday I was telling them about the same thing, and it reminds me of what Albert Einstein always said. He said insanity is what? Doing the same thing over and over and hoping to have a different result. If you add 2 plus 3, you always get 5. But insanity is when I want to add 2 plus 2 and want to get 5. You see, every effort, every time I put any certain levels or effort into adding 2 naira plus 3 naira, no matter how positive I am, no matter how spiritual I am, no matter how optimistic I am, I will never get 5. I'll always get 4, right? Because it's just a common sense. It's obeying a law. And what's the law? Cause and effect. So I can't keep repeating the same cause and hope to get a different effect, outcome. So if for any reason, peradventure for any reason, you still find yourself doing anything that looks similar and familiar, it means you are already starting on the wrong way. True? Yeah. If you don't find any activity that is unfamiliar in your life, just know that you are doomed to repeat your 2019 in 2020. So most of you will not have anything called New Year. You have 2019 year in 2020. Here's the big problem. I remember sharing with you a story, right? And that someone I was checking in sometimes with someone, and he was telling me, he said, Eladi, you know, and that was 2018, yes, 2018, 2017. We were excited. He was excited and was telling me how many years he worked. And when I check into his life, when I look at this person's life, there's nothing in his life that showed that he have actually worked for that period of time. And he said, well, I've actually worked here for over 10 years. And I said, well, so you haven't worked for 10 years. You know what? You've only worked for 1 year, and you repeat that 1 year 10 times. Because the evidence of life is growth. Anywhere there is life, there must be growth. If you are not growing, you are not living. I ask you, are you really growing, or you're just merely existing? Is it possible that I can come into your life right now and look at the last 3 years and see that there's a change in your life? Or is it possible that I'll look into your life right now and say, hey man, I had a better past? It means you were more alive in your past than as you should be in the present. So just remember that. If old way of doing things cannot generate new kind of result in your life, then what are some of those things that causes you to walk in that old way while you know you're supposed to have change? Everyone want to change. Change, everybody talk about change. All right? It's the easiest thing anyone can talk about, but actually very difficult sometimes, especially if it's in a positive way to implement. One thing I know for sure, that everyone you meet out there want to be successful. True? Everybody. And to some level of degree, everyone knows some things that they know they can do to be successful. But here's the problem. How many of them do that thing that they know? And life rewards you at the point of doing, not at the point of knowing. Sometimes too much information causes poverty of attention. You get to a point in your life, you know too much, but you do so less with that which you already know. So it's not necessarily about what you just know. It's the little that you know that you're going to act on it to produce a tangible result in your life. You want to make sure that this year you be knowledgeable. I told you yesterday, I said knowledge is an instruction that have yielded a result. Any instruction that cannot yield a result, or that not yield a result in your life, you can regard it as something that you can say, well, this is not. But the question now is, in fact, what is instruction? What is instruction? Simple. Instruction is any activity that impact learning. Any activity, endeavor that you find yourself, some things that you engage yourself and that impact learning to you. Yeah, that is it. In fact, part of one of the things I was looking at the pyramid of success, even though it's so big, but I will just start with, I'll just show you part of the foundations, all right? They say at the foundational level, all right? Okay, instruction come at the third level. This is where instruction comes, all right? But here, they call it the governing value. At the base of the pyramid of your life, you know, everything should have their roots from set of values that you stand for as a human being. And anytime you want to do something, you look at that thing and you take it back to check it against those fundamental set of values that govern your life as a human being. And sometimes when there are chances that you want to drill away from what you should be doing, and that's why I said if it's possible that this year, 2020, you can make it a bit different. Find a moment in your life. Have some moment of truth to yourself. It could be once every week. It could be once every 2 weeks. It could be once in a month. But just be honest to yourself. All right? Assess your life. Every opportunities, everything that comes to you, take it back to see whether, check it back against, put it side to side against some fundamental governing values that you want to reflect in your life, that you want to be seen it reflected in your life. If all way of doing things cannot generate new result, then you should be ready for one thing. It means all knowledge that powers that way of doing things cannot create new result. So, how many of you hope 2020 is going to be different for you? You see? Yes. I want 2020 to be different. And that's the truth. You want the same thing. Every one of us want 2020 to be different. Yes. Hope, right? Not hope. Okay. We want. But here's the problem. Life don't give you what you want. Life give you who you are. Life don't give you what you want. Life give you what you are. Let me ask you, what are you? Don't answer me. Just keep it to yourself. If what Napoleon said in Think and Grow Rich, he said that all thought are things. Right? And the things in your life represent the thoughts that governs your life, right? And we said life don't give you what you want now. So in 2020, life will not yield to you the things that you desire. And not the series of the things that you want in 2020 that you're going to see. Everything that result that you're going to experience will be direct product of who you become in 2020. So I ask you, what new knowledge do you have in 2020 that is different from that ruins your life in 2019? Are there a new set of information that you've acquired different from that of 2019? Are there maybe new skills that you've developed, to prepare you to yield the kind of result that you couldn't have in 2019? Or you are still relying on that same knowledge and hoping for a miracle to happen, that the law of nature, the law of cause and effect will be violated in your favor, that those causes will give you different outcome, that I will add 2 plus 2 and get 5 this year. And yes. So I realized that in the second week of 2019, precisely in about 4 days, when I sat back to take some record of my activities into the year, I discovered that I was doing the same activities the way I used to do them before. And I said, Elijah, this is not good. And it's true. It's not good for me. What are some of the things that you're ready to do for yourself this year to make sure that the year is totally different? Because the year will be as beautiful as what you make out of it. And so some people will use this 1 year. Remember what I always said in class? I said, don't be worried by the illusion of time, because time itself is only as useful as the value you drive out of that time. Some people can have 1 year value in 10 years, and some people can have 10 years value in 1 year. And the ability, how well you can draw out of the year, is depending on what you are. What are you, brother, my friend, my sister? What are you in 2020? I know all of us serve a just God. God is just. True? God is just in all his ways. If God will have to give you things in your life by what you are, do you think that really, of an honest truth, that all those New Year resolutions, the goals, the things that you want to achieve, do you really think that you are that kind of person that deserves that kind of life, the result that you want? Because sometimes when we set goal, we have to be specific and be realistic. I mean, every goal can be achieved, right? And even when I said the word realistic, is It's not that there are no unrealistic goals, right? That's But here's the thing. I want to build 50-story building. I mean, yeah, story building. Let's say about something like Bush Khalifa. Let's say I want to build something like Bush Khalifa in Abuja here, and I want to get it done in 1 week. Is it realistic or not? Well, it's realistic, but at the present level of ignorance, it's going to be challenging. True? So even what determines whether a goal is realistic or not is ignorance and knowledge. At the present level of ignorance, I was seeing something yesterday that Chinese are building hospital in 10 days. Yes, for 1,000, 4,000, or 1,000 bed hospital in 10 days, so that they can combat one virus that just came out. Just 10 days. And they're working, they're working. Before now, probably somebody may think, well, this is unrealistic, right? How many of you, when you were some years ago, you've always wished that one day you're going to be somebody? Yeah, one day I'll be somebody. Yeah, I said that. All right. I said, you know what, one day I'll be somebody. And this is what he said. He said, when I was young, I wished, I've always hoped that one day I'll be somebody. But now that I'm old, I wish I had been more specific. That's why I said you should be specific at least. What's the kind of person you want to be? And do you really? Do you deserve those things that you wrote? Because to have different results, you have to be a different kind of personality to make that happen. Einstein said, we cannot, it's not in our nature, right? To solve the problem at the same level of knowledge and understanding as we were as of the time those problems were created. So I have to be different. What are the values that some of the things that's going to govern you through 2020? How frequent will you be more realistic with yourself? This is not competition. You don't have to look at your neighbor. You just have to look at your life. True? Yeah. Be honest to yourself. If I keep going the way I'm going, if I keep doing the things I'm doing, where will I end? What kind of result will I have by the end of this year? So I said that the year is only as useful and as meaningful as the value you're going to drive out of the year. You want to sell more this year? What are you going to do? Buy more books, take new courses on sales, right? It means you're going to have a different knowledge as compared to the ones you had last year. So it means you're going to have different outcome this year. Simple, right? My sister is one of the finest lady in real estate, right? You want to be very successful this year? Look at who are those guys that are making money in real estate? What are some of the informations that they know that I don't know? Get those things, get new informations. Now new informations in turn will give you a new outcome. Right? But except we're being realistic and being specific, else we will still repeat 2019 in 2020. No matter how you tag the year, my year of divine blessings, my year of supernatural breakthrough, my year of this, I will still look at your life and I will still look at that miserable person. Nothing will ever change, probably. So who is willing to do something different this year? Yeah, you have to be mad, according to my friend. He said you have to be mad to be made. Yeah, yeah, you have to be unreasonably reasonable. That's what he said. So we want to begin the year with an age, and that's simple. We want to have an age. If I had my way, I'll remove this word, this age. All right, because this age cannot relativity. You relate something against something, right? Yeah. Meanwhile, the true journey of life should be personal. Should not be something that you have to consider an age or not. If I'm seeking an age, it means I want to have something over something, right? But the greatest victory, according to Mahatma Gandhi, he says victory over self. The greatest battle ever won is the battle that you win over yourself. And the greatest success ever achieved are the success, you know, that you won over the battles and the challenges of your life. And that's why oftentimes, even here we say that success is relative, right? So why? Because what success may mean to me may be different from what it means to you. Success is a school teacher because that is what he or she wants to do. So when you do what you always wanted to do, you're said to be successful. I don't need to feel I am better than you. I have an edge over you to feel I'm successful. I just need to know that I am doing what I've always loved to do. And that's what success may mean to me. To you, success may mean having $10 billion. To someone, maybe $100 billion. And success is relative because only you know how well you're doing. I tell someone, what is failure? Failure is if you're in a company of people that earn 1,000 naira and you earn 10,000 naira, but you have a capacity to earn 100,000 naira. You see, if you want to relate, just because you earn 10,000 in a company of people that earn 1,000, you feel you're successful. But then you are only operating at 10% of what you're supposed to make. So if you have to look at that, you say, well, I have an age over there. So that's why I said, if I have my way, I'll remove the word age. Right? Because we want to have victory over ourselves this year. Right? Do all the things that matter to us in a way that matters. But taking every activity that we do back to our governing values, the fundamentals of everything.